You know, this is hard for me. I hate Polaris. They did me dirty on Victory. And now I gotta sit here and talk good about their new cruiser motors. Just roll the intro. Jesus. So as you saw from the intro, today I'm gonna talk good about Polaris, and I'm gonna talk good about Indian in particular. Here's what I like about the new Chief lineup and their cruisers. So Indian said, hey, we're gonna make a non-Harley Dyna. You might be saying, what the hell are you talking about? If you take a look at that bike and you look at the exposed shocks and how stripped down they are, it is very reminiscent of a Dyna. Big motor, big horsepower, big output, and a small, simple frame. That's very Dyna-esque. Man, I think Indian's hitting a home run with this series of Chief bikes. They've got your Chief, they have your Chief Dark Horse, your Chief Bobber, your Dark Horse Bobber, your Super Chief, and your Super Chief Limited. That's a lot in the new Chief lineup. So your base bikes, which is your Chief, your Bobber, and your Super Chief, all have the 111 motor in them, which is a pretty damn big motor. On your limiteds or your specials, like your Chief Dark Horse, your Dark Horse Bobber, and your Super Chief Limited, they're putting the 116 motor, which is reportedly got 120 foot-pounds of torque. Kids, that's a lot of movement. Now, don't get me wrong, we all know that they take their numbers and they inflate the shit out of them. Still, that kind of a torque number coming from the rear wheel, that's pretty good. I like them because they're stripped down, they're a cruiser. They just have a really good look to them. When you look at those bikes and you see what they've done with them, those exposed rear shocks, when you see how stripped down they are as a cruiser, they're pretty badass. I also like the fact that they've got accessories, they've got things you can do to them. I know Lloyd's is doing parts for them, I've talked about that before, but you put a set of exhaust on that thing, I think you've got a good bike. Hey, what's up, y'all? I hope you're really enjoying this video. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, click that little bell icon so you'll get notifications when I make these crazy vids. On your Dark Horse and your Dark Horse Bobber and your Super Chief Limited, you're gonna have your navigation and your onboard system. It's the size of the Speedo. It's really crazy. Everything is right there. You can Bluetooth through their Speedo. You have navigation on there. I was like, wow, that's pretty badass and pretty cool. It's pretty innovative as far as technology wise. Your base Chief runs right at 15 grand. Your Chief Dark Horse is sitting right at 17 grand with the 116 motor. Your Bobber is sitting around 16 grand, and that's with the 111 inch motor. Your Dark Horse Bobber has the 116 motor, and it's sitting right around 19,000. Your Super Chief that has the 111 motor is sitting at 18.5, and your Super Chief Limited is sitting at 21,000 with a 116 motor. Now, when you get up to the Super Chief and the Super Chief Limited, they have bags and they have the windshield, and they remind me a whole lot of a Heritage Classic. The way the bags sit on them, the way they look, they have that feel to them. They're a smaller framed cruiser. They're not huge, stretched out. Don't know the seat height. I'll put that in the video. They're more of a compact frame. They're light, nimble. They're the kind of bike that you can get on and ride short distance, or the way they've got them set up with the bags and the windshield go long distance. I've made a video previously where I talked about how a lot of these brands have killed cruisers and they've screwed up. Hey man, with the Chief lineup by itself, Indian has said, okay, yeah, we've got the Scouts and they're very comparable to your Sportsters, because everybody's competing with Harley whether we like it or not. Some people say, well, my brand doesn't compete with Harley. Bullshit. Every brand competes with Harley because every brand wants to try to get some of that Harley money, because Harley, they are what they are. They're huge, they're massive, they're everywhere. Indian's coming in pretty close with their prices on these things. A lot of people don't mind spending between 15 and 18 for a decent bike that's got some good amenities. And as far as the features on the new Chief, man, I think it's got enough features, especially when you get into the Dark Horse Bobber, and the Super Chief Limited. Now, the Super Chief Limited, like I said, that thing's 21. I don't know if it would be a great touring bike. It looks like it would be, but that price point's that's up there, but it's got a lot of extra things on it that I think, hey, it looks like it's going to make it worth it. I'm giving you my first impressions of this bike from what I've seen online, from what I've seen of other people's videos, and from just looking at pics of them. I did get to walk by one at Indian dealership. It was a Chief Dark Horse, and it was pretty badass. So I'm excited about a chance to get to sit on one of them, hopefully get to ride one of them. And I really believe that this is going to be good competition for Harley and for the Softails and for those people who are in that market that want the Dyna. And I really think this thing right here is going to turn some people's heads. Hey y'all, just want to say thanks for watching the video. Again, this is just my first initial impressions of the Chief and my initial impressions of all the bikes they put in that Chief lineup. Hey, I think it's going to be good for cruiser riders. I think it's going to be good for motorcycling in general. I'm excited to hopefully get on one. I want to see what they're all about, and I think Indian did a damn good job and hit a home run on this one. And that's tough for me to say because I hate Polaris. Anyway, hey, thanks for watching. I want you guys to have a great day. Let's try not to be assholes to each other, and I'll see y'all next time.